Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your host, Louisiana Gator here,
And I'm Georgia Squid.
and it is a vape video. So, as you guys know, I picked up the Hadron Pro DNA 250C Lipo box mod, and then later on, I got this guy, the Ragnar RDTA, to go with it. But I found a disposable pod from Raz that I had not opened yet. I took it out of the box. I was gonna do a review on it, but I forgot about it. So here we are. And then we're also going to talk about other shit as well, so go ahead and open it up on camera, if I can. I might need a knife. Do I need a knife? Let's see. There we go. Alright. So yeah. Unopened, as you can see, it's still got the little plug in there. Obviously, it's unopened because, well, yeah. So, here we go. Go ahead and peel this off. Now, before we get to vaping this, I'm going to let this sit for a second. Alright. Because I'm going to show you guys that it actually came with a little lanyard type thing, a little neck lanyard. So that's nice. And to put that on, you can undo this, clips off. All right. Now, obviously, once this pod is empty and no longer usable, I'll still keep the lanyard because why the fuck not? Never have too many. So just pull it up like that. All right. Here we go. And then there you go. And now you have a way to hang it from your neck if you wanted to. Now I forgot the flavor of this, so there's that. Does it say? Oh, Alaskan mint. Here we go. You know what that kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of Copenhagen mint. As you guys know, I used to use chewing tobacco. It's one of the reasons why my teeth are all fucking jacked up. But, yeah, no, it kind of reminds me of, like, it reminds me of Copenhagen mint. It just kind of tastes like that, just minus the tobacco taste. It's got that really nice. A lot of us that were in the dip community describe Copenhagen mint as tasting like Colgate toothpaste
Yep,
because it was really minty, and that's what this tastes like. But this actually has a sweet note on it. So it almost kind of tastes like almost a candy mint, like, maybe like a peppermint or something. It's good though, and if you have a sore throat, that coolness factor, it'll help that. So, what would I rate this? Well, I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna give it, honestly, because of the flavor and the fact that it uses USB-C and it has adjustable airflow, and it came with a nice little lanyard. Shit. Whoops. I'm gonna go ahead and give it an 8.5 out of 10. An 8.5 out of 10, solid. Um, it is a disposable pod device. So, I mean, that could vary depending on who you are. You may not like that. Personally, it doesn't bother me because if I lose this while fishing or something, it's not that big of a deal because of the price that it's at. But the fact that it came with a lanyard that you can use other stuff for, and the fact that it is, detachable, yeah, can't beat that. So yeah, I'm gonna give it an 8.5. I like it. It's got good flavor, very minty. But that's one thing I liked. If you watched a lot of my older dip videos, you would know I always banged on Copenhagen mint. I love the hell out of Copenhagen mint. There's a lot of guys who would swear up and down, Grizzly Mint's better. It's like, no,
no,
no, no, it's
it's
not.
dry shit.
Mine was never dry. Mine was fucking salty.
Well, felt like it was drier than the
Now,
sea
one
had
dip
a
that I
desert.
had was pretty fucking dry. Was Grizzly Long Cut Straight. That shit was dry.
That was one of my favorites.
And then Grizzly Long Cut Wintergreen. That shit was moister than a motherfucker.
That's what I liked in my winter greens.
Although one thing I like doing, that I'm obviously not gonna do anymore, was taking a little bit of, like, Crown Royal or any type of whiskey really, and putting it in, like, Copenhagen long cut natural or Copenhagen straight or something like that, or doing it with Grizzly straight. Now, one thing I have to say about Grizzly Straight is Grizzly was really sweet with its straight flavor. Now, one thing I did do, and I think a lot of you guys remember this, I used to take Copenhagen Southern Blend and dab a little whiskey in there, which almost gave you like, almost like a Copenhagen whiskey. Although Copenhagen whiskey was hard to find, but at least I'm not doing that shit anymore, so good
I
there.
can I can say I was fortunate enough to have a can or two of that, thanks to my
Yeah.
buddy in Kentucky, though. But
Let me test out these airflows. See. Okay, so that's wide open. Okay, so it's a low clicky factor. Alright. It's a little bit more like a cigarette, so that's the next one down. So we'll go to the tightest straw. Alright. A little bit more restricted. Again, feels like a cigarette. But I noticed when you turn that airflow down all the way to its lowest setting, that mint really hits the back of your fucking throat. So if you like that, I recommend picking this up. But then again, I'd recommend most mint e-juices if you like mint. So yeah. And what I like about this, which most other pod systems disposables that I have never had this, but there's two LED lights right there. You actually have a power indicator one, so like for when you have to recharge your battery, but there's also one to let you know when the pod is almost out of juice. So that's fucking great. I like that. Everything about this I like. I like the color it is, the little green color, and how it just kind of fades into this almost, I would say like I wouldn't say like a lime, but not really lime, but more of a minty green into a darker green. So, yeah, recommend this 110%. So, it's been, I would say, long enough, at least for the tank. All right. And the mod. I guess I would say the mod too, because I haven't really noticed too many issues with it, or really any issues. It's been working fine. All right. It charges great. Cool. And it has decent battery life. Like, that's the biggest fucking thing, is the battery life. And I'll show you guys why. If you haven't watched the unboxing, I'll show you why it has great battery life here in a second. But the issue I had was my fault. I accidentally knocked it off into the floor, and it snapped the USB cable that came with it. So I ended up having to buy a longer one. So we're good there. I mean, micro USB, they're fucking cheap as hell. Although I am going to get a balanced charger eventually, just because I want to get a second battery, second 4S LiPo. There you go, that's the battery. But the second 4S LiPo, and be able to swap between them. So yeah. But speaking of that, let's go ahead and take that battery door off. So that's what the battery looks like. It is a 4S LiPo, and it does have balanced charging on the DNA board. Yeah, obviously you're not really supposed to charge via micro USB, but I'm gonna have to save up for, again, a balanced charger, which I will end up getting one. Now, the RTA, alright? We all know that I have the Titan Aromamizer RDTA, the 41mm, the big motherfucker. I call it the Godzilla of fucking RTAs, or drippers, or whatever you're using it as, right? Because it can be an RTA and a dripper in the same package, okay? So you can take that glass out, you can take the chimney out and everything, and you can just screw the two pieces together, the top and the bottom, and there you go, you have a dripper. Or you can go ahead and put the glass piece back in with the little extender piece, and then you have a tank. So it's very versatile. But the edge that this has on that is the fact that I can use mesh strips with this. So it actually came with, and I think I showed this in the unboxing video, it came with extra decks, right? So it came with the postless, and then it came with a velocity style, which we all know that I fucking love, and then it came with a mesh clamp deck, so you can actually use mesh coils with it, and it came with the tool. And what I like about it, about this RTA, I don't know if it comes with it in the kit, But by itself, the RTA came with, not only did it come with mesh strips, but it also came with dual coils, and that was fucking phenomenal. I love when companies do that. You know, you didn't really see that too much back then, right? Like, cause I have I don't even think the fucking Dead Rabbit came with coils. Come to think of it, a lot of my older drippers didn't, especially the fucking Buddha, the Goon, the what is that? The Kennedy. It didn't come with coils. Trying to see if there's anything else I have in here. The Goon version 1.5, the Hive from Cloud Chasers Incorporated. Like, a lot of the older stuff did not come with coils. I don't even think the fucking the recoil or whatever the fuck it's called. Yeah, the recoil. I don't even think that one came with coils. So see, you know, tanks and stuff, especially like stuff like this, and then we have this guy right here, which is honestly a piece of shit in my opinion. I'll have a video on that some other day, but that I think that came with coils. It did not come with cotton. I think if you're going to sell a and this is in the realm of starter kits, if you're going to do that and you're going to include a dripper or an RTA, just spend the extra 5 cents to $1 to include the coils in cotton to get somebody started. Like, it wasn't even up until now until you started seeing you know, the measuring tools and everything for the legs and all that for like postless. Like, it's just like I wish they would have included that back then to make it easier for people to make the transitions from, like, you know, a tank to an RTA, or if they wanted to get into dripping and whatnot or squonking, they could do that. I think the Pulse actually came with coils, so yeah. But to see something like this is amazing. Now, obviously, I bought the mod and the tank separately. I could have bought them as a kit. I didn't think about it. It probably would have been cheaper in the long run to buy it as a kit. Either way, it doesn't matter. We're here. And, yeah. So, I'm going to go ahead and take a hit off of it. Now, this is on its widest airflow setting, or its loosest airflow setting, however you want to say that. And, we're at 85 watts on a 0.12. So, here we go. Okay, so this is a 35mm RDA, and you would think that, oh, well, because it's that big and it has a lot of airflow and whatnot, it's not going to have good flavor. Well, you're wrong. This thing actually has pretty damn good flavor. Damn good vapor production, damn good flavor. So, I'm honestly going to give the vapor production probably a solid 10 in my opinion, because it is the best RTA, RDTA, whatever you want to call it, I've ever used. And that's including the Titan 41mm RDTA, and then, like, you know, the CCI Hive. Let's see, what else do I have? I have the Goon RTA, whatever the fuck this RTA is over here. I have a lot, let's just put it that way. I have a decent amount of RTAs, and for the size that this is, and, you know, the price that you can get it at, it is a 10 out of 10 for me on the flavor. The vapor production is amazing. It's not overly airy. It's actually really nicely balanced, even with the widest airflow setting. So if you want a decent RTA, now keep in mind this thing is big. It's 35mm around. I don't know how tall it is, but you gotta keep in mind that it is big, and depending on what mod you're using, you might have some overhang. Let's just put it that way. I know it definitely have overhang on this guy right here. Pretty much any dual battery mod that I have, it'll have overhang. Triple battery mods, it'll have overhang. It does fit on the Titan mod fairly fine. I think I also tried it on the what is that? The Geek Vape Blade, and it has a little bit of overhang on the front, but it's barely noticeable. So there's that. But, like, if you have a big ass mod that can support all the way up to, let's say, a 40mm, 41mm, you're gonna have no problems fitting this. And You know, even like if it's wide enough and you'll think it'll fit, it'll probably look good. Let's just put it that way. But the flavor is good. The vapor production is amazing. The fact that it comes with your pre-made Clapton coils, and then it has two other decks if you order the one that I ordered, which I think was like a complete kit. Uh, because it comes with the mesh deck, it comes with mesh strips that you can use as a heating element, and yeah. So I think here in the near future, I will end up swapping the deck out. I already know how the velocity is basically going to perform, but I'm still going to test it either way. So the only issue is I would have to use some of my some pre-made coils around here. I forgot where I set them, but I'll have to use they're Watopo pre-made coils that you can install into an RDA or RTA, and then obviously the mesh strips are well there. So yeah, but this is a good tank. I'm honestly again going to give it a 10 out of 10. It's easy to wick, and yeah, that's pretty much it. The only thing I'd recommend is when it comes to filling up this is turn this. You'll have like a juice flow shut off. Turn this to the lock position so you'll close the juice flow off. Because if you don't, you will have an instance where the juice will start to leak out of the airflow. I found once I turned it off, filled it up, put the top cap back on, and then turned the juice flow back on, it worked a lot better. Now the mod. The mod is fucking. It's pretty big for a mod, but again, you're housing a 4S LiPo, alright? Now, the thing with this is you're getting good battery life out of it. I don't care who you are. You're getting good battery life. Now, the issue you have to worry about is lipos, by nature, by their very nature, can be dangerous if you don't know what the fuck you're doing, okay? That includes charging them, storing them. Like, if you don't know what you're doing, I would not recommend this mod. I would not recommend this mod for beginners either. Because there's just so much that's involved with it. And especially the battery. Like, you gotta trace this battery with care because unlike lithium ion cells, these are a lot more volatile when shit goes sideways, alright? And also, you have to keep in mind this is a 400 watt box mod. It has a DNA 250C, and because it has a 4S LiPo, it's actually able to output 400 watts. So, in that regards, I wouldn't really see that as a good starter mod from the get go. I would honestly say the most you would want to go up onto a starter mod is about 200 watts. And that's kind of pushing it. I would say probably about, 85, 90, maybe 100. Maybe 150 if you're feeling ballsy enough. I would not go any higher. I would not go over 300, not go over 400 or anything like that. Stick at the lower range so you can get used to it, and then once you are able to start building, then maybe you can go ahead and bump yourself up into the higher wattage class. And for those who think that I am lying about this doing 400 watts, let's see if I can go ahead and max this out. See how long it takes. Wow, that's actually quick. There you go. I don't know how well you can see that, but 400 watts. Alright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back down to 80. Well, actually, first, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a picture of the screen and send it to the group chat. Let's see if I can. Because I do want you guys to fucking see this. Alright, Skype. Send it to the group chat. Alright. Here we go. It's importing media. Let me go ahead and turn this back down. Whoa, too far. 3, 4, 5. Alright, so here it is right here. 400 watts. That is my background. So yeah. But It's got a lot of power, and it outputs I think like 14 volts or something like that. Let me double check. Hadron DC voltage. Okay, my bad. The voltage output range on the Hadron Pro DNA 250C 400 watt box mod, it goes from 0.2, I don't know why they went that low on the lower end, to 16.8 volts. Okay? 16.8. That is a lot of fucking power. Yeah. That's just ridiculous. But I've seen a fucking mech mod that was probably about this fucking long on Jay Hayes' channel, and I think that thing output like 40 volts. Like they literally had a bunch of fucking batteries stacked in series, and I was like, yeah, I like mech mods, but yeah, ain't that stupid. But if you want my honest opinion, when it comes to starter mods or starter kits, uh, I like this guy right here. I think this is, what is this? I've had this guy for a while, come to think of it. See if I can see on the inside what this is. I want to say this is a swell. Yeah, Vanity Vape Swell. Another good little mod is this right here, if you can find it. This is the Kangaroo Epsilon. You also have your Asmodus stuff. I like the Asmodus Lustro. This is a really good one. So yeah. And if you want something a little bit more battery life, can't go wrong with this right here. This is, and it's got batteries in it. This is the Geek Vape Blade, and I love this mod. This has a decent amount of power, and it houses two 2700s. Could be wrong, it might be 21700s. I want to say it. You know what, I'm gonna look it up because that battery door is hard to get off, which is a good thing, but it'd be easier to look it up. Let's see. Geek Vape. Let's see. Alright. Okay, so it can utilize the 21700, so we're good there. But I think I might end up having another video someday down the road, just going through like different starter mods and whatnot, ranging from a single battery to a triple battery. I don't have any mods that aside from the Titan, which I would not recommend as a starter mod just because it is fucking huge, like long ways, and it's heavy. But and then the other 4 battery mod that I have is the GX3050, which I don't think you can get anymore, and even if you can, I don't recommend that one for the fact that it auto fired on me. So I kind of hold that as a quality standard to all the GX350s, just because I wouldn't chance it. That's my personal opinion. And then I'll probably go through starter RDAs to get into and whatnot, and yeah. But I think that's pretty much it for now. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like down below. Don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell to be alerted when we upload new videos. I'm your host, Louisiana Gator.
I'm going to speed.
And we are signing out. Peace.